Hi, I'm Sherry. I'm owner of Sherry's Jams and Jellies. You'll see me often at two different farmers markets, the Grow Local Farmers Market downtown in the Arts Center, and again at the Southside Farmers Market on Saturday mornings. I got into jelly making as a child, actually working alongside my mother. We grew up in a small country area. We lived on 1.5 acres of land, and we had 1/4 acre of garden. So we did a lot of canning. Jamming is in my blood. I love it. It's a passion of mine. I believe that jams and jellies are not meant just for breakfast toast or your biscuit or your peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I use it and encourage you to cook with it. Use it on a cheese board. Put it in your tea. Make salad dressings with it. It's so versatile. Once you get out of your safety zone of toast and peanut butter and jelly, you're going to explore all kinds of varieties. And I hope that I can show you some of that today. A jelly is made from the juice of the fruit only. So you cook the fruit, whatever it is, you mash it, and then you put it in a cloth and literally hang it from your cabinet door. I do anyway. It's the way I was taught, in this cloth, and let it drip through so you're getting a clear juice only. So if you were to go into the store and buy a bottle of apple juice, this is the clearness, this is the clarity that you like. You don't want any particulates. A jam or a preserve, much the same, just one might be a little chunkier, is made with the whole fruit, not the pit. Sometimes the skin. If you're looking at blueberries, you're going to get skin, but for the most part, it's made with just the whole fruit. Yes, it is. It's always sold as a vegetable, and it goes in your salad just like most other vegetables, but technically it is a fruit, and part of that has to do with the acidity of it. Tomatoes, I know you think of spaghetti sauce or salsa and it's fruit. Are you kidding me? It's always been on the cusp, and it's always been an argument, but tomatoes actually are a fruit. Well, there are other things. I mean, I have used a variety of teas to make jelly. When I first started, one of my big sellers was an Earl Grey tea jelly. In down here in Texas, you will get mesquite bean jelly. You'll see that every once in a while people will actually gather up the mesquite beans, which I suppose technically are the fruit of the tree. They'll boil them down, make them into a tea, and then make the jelly out of that. So no, my cinnamon whiskey is certainly not made with fruit. I have made Guinness beer jelly. I have made wine jellies. So no, you're not limited. Only your imagination is going to limit you, and why do that? That's why I carry so many jams and jellies. It's so much fun to see them laid out and have such a variety of things that you just can't get anywhere else. It's not hard to make jam. And if you're making it at home for your family, it can be done without a whole lot of complication. It's an easy process. It just takes some minimal equipment, and the know-how and the will to do it, and time. You know, if you're making it at home, block out 3 hours to make a batch of jam, because by the time you bring your fruit in and you wash it and you get your pan set up and you wash your jars and run them through the dishwasher or put them in a sterilizer, and then you clean your fruit, and then you cook it and you bottle it and you put it in the hot water bath, and then you clean up the mess. Plan on 3 hours. I mean, and it's okay, because you would do this for turkey dinner anyway. You know, you can do this. This is not something that is rocket science. It just takes the will to want to do it, and just a little know-how. Jam making is pretty straightforward and simple. It's bringing your fruits up to a certain temperature, adding your sugar and your lemon juice, bringing it back up to 220 degrees, which is set point, but also assures you that all the bacteria is eliminated. And then I add the fruit pectin and bring it up to a gel before I bottle it, and then put it in a hot water bath. I'm going to be making tomato jam. So southern, you're not going to believe how good this is. People think, ooh, tomato, and they think salsa, or you think spaghetti sauce. Totally different flavor here. And this is something I want to introduce to you today. Hope we can change your mind about the way you use jams and jellies. Jam is jam no matter what. I mean, you've got your basic ingredients. You'll have tomatoes, you'll have sugar. I use cane sugar, only cane sugar. I won't use anything artificial, or if it doesn't say cane, I'm not getting it, because it could be beet sugar. So I want the good, I know what cane sugar will produce. I use a little bit of lemon juice. That is my preservative. I do use bottled lemon juice because we're getting a little into science. Bottled lemon juice has a constant pH. I know whereas if I'm buying lemons, I may not get the right pH, and I want safety first, and I want a good product. And then I use a liquid fruit pectin. Vegan, so you're safe there. This is all good. It's vegan. Of course, there's no artificial flavors, preservatives, colorants in any of my jams or jellies. The first step in making a tomato jam is you need clean, fresh, sterilized jars. You want to make sure that there's no chips in the rims. Test them to look at that and make sure that you're going to get a good seal for your end result. The next step is going to be to blanch your tomatoes. You don't have to do this with all fruits and vegetables that you're using, but anything that has a skin that needs to come off needs to be put into a boiling water bath for a few minutes, taken out, and then put into a cold water bath. And that shrinks the fruit so the skins slip right off. And then you chop the tomatoes and measure them out to about 4 cups to put them into the pan. Once they're in the pan and you bring them up to a boil, you continue to cook to 220 degrees. That makes sure that all the bacteria has been destroyed and that you have an even temperature throughout the whole batch that you're making. Then you'll add your sugar. I use about 6 to 6.5 cups of sugar, depending on what I'm making. Today with tomatoes, I'm using 6 cups of sugar. Pour it in all at once, and then stir it in until it's dissolved and completely liquid. And then bring that batch up to a boil again to 220 degrees. This can take a little time. Be patient. Stir it once in a while, but stay with it because it can stick on the bottom. Once you've reached that 220 degree point, you'll add your liquid pectin. For this jam batch, you'll only need 1 pack of pectin. Add it all at once in the center of the pan and stir it in and bring it back to 220 degrees again, at least for 1 minute. Go ahead and test it, see if it's going to do a gel. It'll drip off your spatula in chunks rather than droplets. You'll see that happening. And then you're ready to go ahead and bottle your jams. Turn off the heat and ladle it use a wide mouth funnel and ladle it into your jars to within a 1/2 inch of the top. Wipe the top of the jars, add your freshly cleaned lids and rings, finger tighten, and then put it into your hot water bath. Your hot water bath is what is going to cause your jars to seal with a vacuum seal. Once all your jars are in the hot water bath, make sure that everything is covered by about 1 inch of water, and this is what causes the air to leak out of the jars to form your vacuum. Bring it up to a hard boil. Let the jars boil in the hot water bath for 10 minutes. Be sure to time it. You don't want to short it. You want all that bacteria gone and you want a good seal. So at least 10 minutes. And then when it's done, using the correct lifters, the tongs, the ratchets, whatever you want to call them, dip it into, grab hold of your jars and pull them out and set them on a towel-lined sheet pan to cool. And then you'll have jam. You'll hear the jars sealing, you'll hear them snapping, and that's always the fun part, is hearing them snapping, because you know you did everything right. You know you got a good seal, and you're going to have some really good jam. Okay, now that the jam is made, I'm going to invite you to come on in and enjoy a little feast with me. I have 4 different varieties of jams in here. We're going to do crackers, we're going to do cheese, we're going to do some salami, some nuts. Nothing says Southern more than homemade biscuits and tomato jam. So we're just going to have some fun and enjoy. Remember, jam goes beyond your toast and beyond your peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Not that they're not good, they are, but there's a whole world out there to use your jams and jellies on. Come on in and try some. Find me at the farmers markets.